I don't know what it is in the dictionary. A tattoo is a mark that won't go away under your skin for life. Right? It's something under the skin that's indelible. And what it means for me, yeah, it's my life. My father and mother did it. I've been doing it 35 years, so it's what I do. You know, it's kind of hard to say. For me, yeah, it's a passion. It's an obsession. It's a work. It's something I wear. I fill my whole body. Why do I like to be tattooed when I go on the beach? I guess maybe I'm a little bit of an exhibitionist. I don't know. You know, it's a social thing, actually. I think if I lived on a desert island, I wouldn't have any tattoos because there's nobody to see them. Maybe a little bit because I'm bored, but I never would have done my back. I can't see my back. It's for other people. I grew up in a hippie family. I've had long hair my whole life. I'm used to people looking at me. When you're fully tattooed, people look at you. It's kind of fun. It helps with contact as well. I've had so many contacts and conversations because of my tattoos. It's a starting point, you know. I've found people have been interested everywhere I go. People seem to be interested by tattoos. They like it. Even if they don't like it, they're still interested. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's fun. It's the art I like. I mean, I paint as well, but tattooing is special. I went to Japan when I was 17. I spent 3 months there, and I got to see these tattoos for real, and I was just like, best tattoos I've ever seen. That's what I want to do. You know, it's really like, if you ask these people, how many tattoos do you have? They say 1. You know what I mean? Yeah, and that really affected me. I know that in Europe they made the suits, and in America for the circuses, and it's in the tribal suits and everything. But this one I saw, and it made me want to do that. And so I've been doing it for a while. Plus, I like the style. It's an easy, open style. If I do that dragon, and when I'm doing the wing, my line goes a little bit over like this, maybe 3 millimeters, you know, no problem. If I'm doing a realistic face and I go 3 millimeters the eye over here, I'm fucked, right? So there's so much more room to move and to work freely. It's really a fun style. They've been doing it for hundreds of years. They know what they're doing. They come up with a good combination, which I like. You know, I like their art a lot. Japanese, Chinese, Oriental, but I concentrate on the Japanese. Some people leave the skin, but they had a museum, had a room full at the University of Tokyo, in frames or on mannequins. I saw dried pieces you could open and look, and you can see every needle mark from the handwork inside the skin still. It's amazing. You can see how he put them, how he put the color. I was there a few times. It's not a culture I want to live in. I prefer the Occidental. It's more comfortable for me. I don't know Japanese. I don't read the stories. It's not that part that interested me. It's really the graphic part, the images. And when you really understand it, you can take out one thing and put a tattoo machine in the design. I tattooed a few years with my father when I was 17. He sent me traveling. I went around the world. I spent a year abroad. I came back, then I was famous at home. It's, you know, but I started getting tattooed from about 11. And I did a few tattoos on friends or people who would let me. I was learning about the business. We used to make our own needles. So it was my job to solder the needles for my mother, my father, and me. And, you know, there's lots of work in a shop, not just the tattooing. Today people go and order whatever they want. It's good, you know. I started, like my first years of tattooing was only single needle outline and a 5 needle color. I did my first back like that. Can you imagine, right? It's ridiculous, but you know, it's possible. It just takes a really long time. So yeah, I have a hard time being simple. I need to draw it first. If I'm going to be really simple, I need to make a design. I do freehand, but I do also stencil. Sometimes more and more. If I know what I want and it's difficult to do, why waste too much time? I draw a bit on the skin and then on the paper. Even today, after 35 years, sometimes I'll draw a design for an arm on a photo because the person comes from far away. And when they come and I put the design on, I still have to fix parts. I can't imagine exactly how it's going to fit. You got to draw on people a lot of times to get a really nice, perfect placement. There's a lot of extra work. When I started getting tattooed, there was no internet. So yeah, totally different world. Today it's just, oh, has the perception changed? You know, I watch these tattoo shows online. They're fucking unbelievable. There's some shows coming out of England or America. I mean, it says tattoo show, but it's not really about tattooing. It's about people, drama. Yeah, tattoos have changed a lot. Now it's being used for everything very openly. When my father started, it was still pretty closed. You had to have courage to go inside a tattoo shop because it was a scary place. Yeah, that's changed. Now studios are very friendly. Not to say all studios were bad before, but it was a much tougher environment, less artistic. It's much more artistic today. If you're in Switzerland, when I came here with my family in 1980, it was lots of hand tattoos. Everybody had them, like crazy. But no tattooers. There was really it was criminals and military and merchant marines, people who do the ships and travel around working. They come on with a lot of tattoos. But it's not like England and mostly I think the port towns is where it is the oldest tradition of tattooing. If you go to Hamburg, in 1940, I think there was Japanese tattooers coming over on the boats and tattooing people by hand. You know, there's been this contact of tattooing that's been possible. Switzerland's in the middle of Europe. There really wasn't a big tattoo culture. There's no tribal tattooing. There's no real culture. No traditional tattooing, so to speak. So yeah, when we first came to this country, I would say in the whole country, I'd be generous. There was 10 tattooers, okay? You see the village I'm in? We're 4. Down there, there's about 8 in Yverdon. In the canton of Bern, there's a couple of hundred, I think. It's just insane. It's so many tattooers. I mean, that is just good for me. I'm going to have work, lots of interest, you know. I'm happy. My profession didn't die. But yeah, no, mostly the port, I'd say, all around the coast. In England, man, everybody's daddy got a tattoo and everybody got a fucking swallowing. But they brought tattooing back with Captain Cook, which was 100 years ago or something. They know tattooing. This is why some of the old designs in Europe are so bad. If the Japanese guys came over in the 40s in Germany and they made tattoos, they exchanged designs, then this German guy, he copied them and gave them to his friend, but he don't know how to draw. And the next, no photocopy, right? So everything draw. And these guys don't know how to draw, so the designs got worse and worse. And the dragon had 3 legs or maybe 5 legs, and the eyes got the wrong size. And they started to become really comical because these people were not good artists, you know? But if you go even further back, a guy called George Burchett, tattooed in England, I think in the 20s or 30s, beautiful designs, really good Japanese dragons, top quality, you know. He's a good artist. He looked, he copied. In a crazy way, before there was good tattooing, people that were solid, fast, nice, terrible design. Where today you get beautiful design, and sometimes the tattoos are too light and too much like a painting. They're not going to survive a few years, you know. So it's how tattooing is kind of turned around. I was showing you the picture before of my tattoo that used to be red when I was 14. Now I'm 50. You know, they change a lot. You live with them. They don't look like they did in the beginning, which is something that everybody will discover this generation, I think. But if it's a good art and the technique is shit, you can always fix it. If it's really strong but terrible design, you have to go laser it before you can even cover it, you know what I mean? So, which is worse? Probably better design is preferable. Yeah. I'm very happy what's happened to tattooing in one way. Beautiful designs, beautiful tattoos. It's really, really a nice change. Maybe some stupid TV shows, but hey, whatever, It's not the end of the world. Yeah. I don't really know how it goes today with Instagram. I mean, you don't need a convention, you don't need a television show, you don't need anything. You're in direct contact with everybody. But over the last, I don't know, almost 10 years, there's been a lot of Argentinians in Europe, South Americans in general, tattooing. Loads. And a lot of the people coming over draw a fuckload better than the people here. They're working harder because, no work, right? So you better be good. It's this competition thing. Yeah, everything's picking up. It's difficult to date out because there's no more secrets in tattooing. There's no more mystery. Everybody knows everything. So if you want to work, you better work good. Because people know. They can look. They can check you out, see what you do. It's much harder, I think. It's easier in one way, but it's harder in another way. If you want to be successful, you have to work. There's no time for lazy people. You have to draw, you have to paint, you have to really push. And you see a lot of that. You go to the conventions, like the big Paris or London, it's like so much good tattooing. I don't even know 80% of what's going on there. I walk around and I try and look and remember and see what's happening. Very different. Very quiet too, since everybody's working with the rotary. It's no fucking sense. I've been judging this last year. I didn't judge conventions for my whole tattoo career. I stayed away from judging. I didn't want to do it. Now I've been doing it for about a year. A few conventions, and it's really interesting. It's difficult. But you see there's this whole other side of tattooing that happens outside of my shop, which I'm not really involved in. I don't have a street shop. I don't have that kind of, and I never did. I started at home with my family. It's always been one-on-one and working like that. Other people work in much busier, more like a convention environment, a street shop. And those people, I think, maybe are more affected by the whole media thing. Not me, really. So I just watch it. But yeah, I don't know where it's going or what is going to happen. I never would have imagined this